Well, it's August 17th, 2019. I'm at Duck Pass Trailhead for another section hike of the John Muir Trail. This is where I came in 2017, where I turned north and went all the way to Yosemite Valley. This time I'm going to turn south, summit Mount Whitney, and a few days after, exit out through Horseshoe Meadow. That's the plan at least, so I better get moving. Well, I made good time up to Barney Lake. Now I'm going to work my way along the left side of this lake and then start the ascent of that steep head wall to make it over Duck Pass. Crossing Duck Lake Outlet. Well, I made it to the junction of the John Muir Trail. Now, last time I went this way, north, all the way to Yosemite Valley. This time I'm going south, and from here on out, it's all new territory. I'm making my descent to the floor of Cascade Valley on switchbacks, going all the way down there. I'm camping here at Squaw Lake. There are 3 or 4 other tents set up down here, and we're going to make a push for Silver Pass tomorrow morning on fresh legs. It's only about 1.5 miles, so it shouldn't be too bad. Okay, time to go up the snowfield. All right, I'm back on the trail. Well, I made it over Silver Pass. Now I'm following this trail. I'm gonna go on the right side of that lake down there and then go over and drop down sharply into that valley. I wonder if that's Selden Pass. I'll be going over in Selden in a couple of days, and that's in about the right direction. Well, as you can see, the trail just drops off right into that valley, so I'll be taking switchbacks down. This is Lake Edison, and I'm down on the eastern end where the trail comes in, but my resupply is on the western end at Vermilion Valley Resort. Now, I could hike around the lake, but this backcountry resort is so hiker-friendly, they even have a water taxi. That's what I'm going to do. I'm at Vermilion Valley Resort, and I'm going to go inside and get my resupply bucket. It's early morning on Lake Edison. I stayed here last night at Vermilion Valley Resort. What a fun time. We had a fire pit, did my resupply, got a shower and laundry, and now this morning I'm going to take a quick shuttle over to the trailhead. Beautiful morning here. All right, I'm at the Bear Creek Junction. I'm going to have a little snack. I picked these olives up at the hiker box at VVR. And I'll tell you, coming down those dry, hot, sun-baked switchbacks, I could use a little punch of salt and spice. Just taking a few minutes to filter some water. I'm going through it pretty quickly today. It's a great place. Get right down to the water. Shady, cool. Very nice. So desolate. The lower part of this trail was full of water and beautiful cascading waterfalls. Certainly different up here. Yeah, this tree looks about the way I feel right now. Oh boy. I just made it across the notorious Bear Creek crossing. It really wasn't too bad because it's late in the season, we haven't had a lot of rain, and it's early morning, and all that adds up to having much lower water flows. But this is the creek that I followed all day yesterday, coming up through that drainage, that powerful churning stream with all those waterfalls. But right here, it's pretty calm. Beautiful, tranquil Rosemary Meadows at the Rose Lake Junction. Well, Marie Lake seemed like an appropriate place to take a break, water up and have a snack before going over the pass, which is right up there. And I just missed it. I just had a trout jump in the water right down here. It's so clear. It's unbelievable how many of these stunning scenes you come across every day. But anyway, the weather's good. There's no wind, clear blue skies to go over the pass. So I'll be up and over in just a little bit. Woo! Made it. Selden Pass. It's the morning of day 6. I'm all packed up, getting ready to leave Sally Keys. Had a nice campsite overlooking this lake. Had a short day yesterday, only about 7 miles. But today I'm on the trail early, and I'm heading down to Muir Trail Ranch to pick up my resupply. I'm on switchbacks. I'm going to be dropping right down into this valley, down to Muir Trail Ranch. Muir Trail Ranch. Let's go see what this is all about. Hello.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
TV.
Here are all the hiker buckets. There are clearly marked snacks, peanut butter, dried fruit, gear, clothing, first aid supplies, almost anything you need you can pick up here. Looks like the ranch is getting a pack train ready to go out for a delivery. Almost done with my resupply. That is a full bear canister, but it has to last me for the next 80 miles. All right, that's the pack train out of Muir Trail Ranch. This is Muir Cabin. It's just to the right of the trail. I caught a glimpse of it through the trees on my right. Thought I'd come check it out. Okay, as soon as I cross this bridge, I'll be in Kings Canyon National Park. I just crossed over the bridge for the South Fork of the San Joaquin River, and I came to this. This is a stock gate, so I'm going to have to open the gate so I can pass through. I'm on these dry switchbacks going up to Evolution Meadow, and I've come all the way through that valley down there. This is Evolution Creek. I'm going to be crossing this upstream in a little while. So this is what you get swept into if you fall in, so don't fall in. I just made it across Evolution Creek crossing. There's a bunch of hikers holed up here having lunch, and they were good enough to help direct people across, to help them show the shallowest places and the best places to step, so it really wasn't too bad. Anyway, I've had lunch and time to get back on the trail. This is Muir Meadow, and up here is the Muir Meadow Ranger Station. It's the morning of day 8. There's the hermit. And looking back now, you can see where I've been. I came up through that gorge down there. And right now I'm on switchbacks up to Evolution Basin. And it's early in the morning, so they're still in the shade, so that's a plus. But I gotta get moving. Here's the inlet for these lakes. I'm going to go cross right on these rocks. Wanda Lake, just below Muir Pass. Every once in a while it's nice to turn around and look back. This is where I've been. All right, Muir Hut. All right, I just left the hut, had to divert off the trail, make my way down that snowfield, but I'm back on the trail, and this is the other side of Muir Pass. Absolutely beautiful. This is Helen Lake. I just stopped and filtered some water and now I need to keep going. Okay, snowfield number 8 to cross on my way down from Muir Pass. This is the valley I'm going to be dropping into, and hopefully I can find a campsite pretty soon when I get a little lower. Well, 2 more snowfields on the trail. This is number 11 and 12. I mean, they're slick and they're not bad, but they do slow you down. But I think after those 2, I'm going to be getting out of the snow. Okay, I see the trail over there, and I've got to get across all this. Well, I found camp for the night. I'm camped right up a little shelf right behind me, and this is my water source. Well, it's the morning of day 9. I camped here last night. Absolutely beautiful, but what a cold campsite it was. There was a lot of condensation on the tents this morning. Everybody in the camp, there were 4 other people here, and everybody had condensation. But we have everything out drying. But this is where I'm headed. I'm going to follow that gorge most of the day. Here's the trail rock monster. Okay, I'm leaving this valley and I'm going to be going up this one, up to the Palisade Lakes. It's the morning of day 10 and I'm camped down here at Deer Meadow, and there's a mother and 2 fawns. I'm out of camp early and I think that's where I am headed. Up the golden staircase to the Palisade Lakes. But it's early and I hope it stays in the shade for a while. Well, I'm still making my way up the golden staircase, and I was passed, yes, passed, by a young woman from the National Park Service, part of the trail crew. She was carrying not only a full pack, but a chainsaw. Yeah, pretty impressive. Wow, look at this trail. I'll tell you, the amount of work that went into making this is monumental. Well, this outlet's coming out of Lower Palisade Lake, so I'm getting there. This is Lower Palisade Lake. I think it's time for a pack-off break. Have a little lunch, filter some water, and just enjoy this beautiful lake. All right, this is Upper Palisade Lake. And Mather Pass is right there. And that's where I'm going to be going tomorrow morning. It's the morning of day 11. I'm looking down on Upper Palisade Lake. That's where I stayed last night. The campsite was about 10,800, but the air was dry and I was warm. And there's a bunch of nice people hanging out down there last night. And the Palisade Lakes are it's just gorgeous down there. Anyway, this morning I'm on the trail and I'm making my way up and over Mather Pass. Well, I'm over Mather Pass. What a beautiful area this is. Now I'm going to switch back down to those tarns, go over to the trees, and then drop into that valley. Well, this is exhilarating. I just crossed the South Fork of the Kings River, and the logs are slick and tippy, and the rocks are slick and tippy, but made it across just fine. Look at this landscape that I'm passing through. Pinchot Pass. This is where I've been, and this is where I'm going. Well, there's Pinchot Pass. Came down the switchbacks, and now I'm on flatter terrain down here on the valley floor. Here's the suspension bridge over Woods Creek. What a beautiful bridge. Here's another look at the suspension bridge. It's such an unusual thing to find in the wilderness, but it sure is a lot of fun to go across. And here comes another hiker, one person at a time. Well, it's the morning of day 13. Last night I stayed down by the suspension bridge, and now I'm up here at Dollar Lake. Time to sit down and have a snack and some water, and that's Fin Dome in the background there. And this really is a beautiful place. Well, now I'm right up close to Fin Dome, above this pretty little lake here. Beautiful area. This is one of the Ray Lakes, and these purple flowers in front of me, they're either wild onions or wild chives. Smell delicious. It's day 14. I'm just waking up here at Ray Lakes. The stars were brilliant last night, but it also got very, very cold. We had massive condensation, so I had frost on top of my tent and on top of my sleeping bag inside my tent. But I just finished some hot coffee that made me feel better and warmer, and I'm going to get on the trail and go over Glen Pass today. I can see trout swimming there in the shallows. And up there is Glen Pass. I'm leaving Ray Lakes, and now I'm on switchbacks. Okay, up there's the pass. I can see hikers up there. So I'm almost there. And there's Ray Lakes, where I stayed last night. Less than 2 hours ago, I started from there. So I'm making good time. Okay, this is Glen Pass, and that's where I've been. And this is where I'm going. All right, I'm coming down from Glen Pass, and it's steep on this side too. Look at the switchback trails down there. This is very pretty. There's Charlotte Lake down there. And this is a very unusual feature. Totally glaciated. All right, this is Charlotte Lake. I'm going to set up camp here tonight. Now I have to go along the right side of the shore all the way to the end to the ranger station. There's a bear box and supposedly some sandy flat spots for pitching a tent. It's the morning of day 15, and this is where I'm going to temporarily part ways with the JMT. I'm going to hike out for a resupply. I'm going over Kearsarge Pass. Probably spend a night close to the trailhead and hike out tomorrow morning to Onion Valley. Now I've had several low mileage short days recently, but that's because I'm 2 days ahead of schedule. And given that it's Labor Day weekend, I really want to make sure I hit those reservations. Okay, there's Bullfrog Lake, and here's Kearsarge Lakes. Down there's my trail, and up here is Kearsarge Pass, and I can see hikers up there. That's a good sign. Okay, I'm on top of Kearsarge Pass, and this is where I'm going to be going this afternoon. You can look right down into Owen Valley. It's the morning of day 16. I just have a couple miles to go to the Onion Valley trailhead, where I'll meet my ride, go into Independence for a 0 day. Just had a wonderful surprise on the trail. I met Marty and Melissa coming up the trail from Independence. They had been down yesterday to do the resupply. And I've hiked off and on with Marty and Melissa for a few days, and I just adore them. And I knew they were a day ahead of me because I slowed my schedule down. So I wasn't sure I was going to see them again, but it was so nice to run into them today. Even though it was brief, it was a very nice reunion. I got into Independence pretty early in the day, and I'm glad that I did because thunderstorms came in the afternoon and hikers were coming in. They were cold and wet. They'd gotten into hail and high winds. But Independence, there's not much here, but it's a great place to resupply. There's a post office. The Chevron station has a sandwich shop and a food mart. There's Glenn's taco truck. But my resupply was handled by Mount Williamson Motel and Base Camp. They did a great job of coordinating everything, and the breakfast was really good. But the best place to hang out is the Still Life Cafe downtown. It's a little French-inspired bistro, wonderful atmosphere, really good food, and they even have the house dog, Carlos, to keep you company. Anyway, I highly recommend it. It's a nice place to hang out. You get everything you need done and get back on the trail. I've been on the trail for about an hour after being dropped off at Onion Valley Trailhead, and it looks like I'm already going to have to start adjusting my schedule again because yesterday afternoon while I was in town a thunderstorm came through, and that's what's predicted for this afternoon and tomorrow as well. So I'm going to have to be very careful in picking a sheltered campsite and getting myself up and over those passes in a safe manner. It's about about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I've decided to stay here at Flower Lake because when I look up at the pass, there's a lot of dark clouds up there. In fact, I just heard a loud thunderclap that got me out of my tent and up and looking, and that is why I'm not going over the pass today. I'm just going to let this thunderstorm pass and tackle it in the morning. It's trail day 18. I'm up early and making my way to Kearsarge Pass, and it is raining. But right up there is the pass, so I should be over that shortly. I reconnected with the John Muir Trail and I'm making my descent down to Bubbs Creek Junction. And I'm going to be going up through this valley, right there at the trees, and bearing to the right of that peak right in the center. Here's the situation. It's been raining off and on all day, and I'm down here at the Center Basin area, right below Forester Pass, and I've decided to pitch my tent for the afternoon and just ride out the storm. I'm not sure what I'm going to do tomorrow morning. It's still lightning and thundering, and the pass is still obscured, so I don't know if this is going to clear out for me in the morning or not. I'm just going to have to wait and see. It's the trail day 19, and I have just broken camp. I hiked all day yesterday in the rain, and then I set up camp and it rained well into the night, although it did clear a little bit because I could see some stars. But everything is soaking wet. There's my tent airing out a little bit, my fly over there, trying to shake off some of the water. Over here, my down quilt is wet. It just kills me to see that thing wet, but I'll just have to find a sunny place sometime today and dry it out again. But I can't see the pass. It's up there someplace, but hopefully it's clear enough to get over today. The weather's starting off pretty good for me, but that can change in an hour or so, so I have to keep an eye on it. But I'm making my way up to Forester, which is up in this general vicinity. You can't see it from here, but I'm heading in that direction. That's Forester Pass. Still have a ways to go. But this is what I've been walking through. All right, well, the trail is going up this way. I came through that meadow a little while ago, and then this trail down by that pretty pothole lake, and then up. I took a snack break at this lake below Forester, so I probably have another mile and a half to go. Now this really gives you a look down to what I've traveled through. I stayed way down there in that valley, Center Basin creek. And I've come all this way this morning. There's the pass. I just made it down Forester Pass, and I'm going to be descending down on that trail right alongside the lakes. But first I'm going to have to find a sunny spot and dry some gear. Here's what drying gear looks like, all spread out on these hot rocks. Gonna have a little lunch, wait for it to dry, and get back on the trail. I'm over Forester. My gear is mostly dry. It's still early afternoon, and this is where I'm headed, so that makes me happy. I had a good hike today, about 11 miles, up and over Forester. Got my gear pretty well dried out, but enough to get me through the night. And now I've set up camp here at the Tyndall Frog Ponds. This really is a pretty place to kick back and just relax and enjoy these beautiful lakes. Just when I think I've seen all the terrain that this trail has to offer, I come to this. This is Bighorn Plateau. There's Tawny Peak. And over there's Mount Whitney. And this is just an amazing landscape. I just took a little break. I turned around and looked back. There's Bighorn Plateau on the left and Tawny Peak on the right. And I came down that to Wallace Creek down there in that green section. And now I'm coming all the way back up the other side. All right, I just caught sight of Guitar Lake, the few campers down there. So I'm gonna go down and find a spot. This is Guitar Lake, so pretty. All that green down there, and people just sitting on the rocks, looking at the lake. And there's my tent. I don't know if you can see it, the orange tent right there in the middle. And tomorrow, we're gonna go up Whitney. It's the morning of Trail Day 21, just leaving Guitar Lake, and I'm heading up to Mount Whitney. So this is right outside my tent, and I'm camped at 11,500, so yeah, it got pretty cold last night. All right, this is Trail Crest. This is where we drop our packs and make the final 2-mile push to the summit. summited Mount Whitney, which means I've completed the John Muir Trail. I descended a little bit. It was so windy up there, I couldn't do any audio. It was very cold, and I just wanted to keep moving to stay warm. Anyway, I'm on my way back down to Guitar Lake, and then I'm hopefully going to camp at Crabtree Meadows tonight. And then I'm going to take the PCT out the next couple of days, exit out through Horseshoe Meadows. That's where I was today. Mount Whitney is absolutely stunning. The trail is gorgeous, the view's unbelievable. But from the time I left Guitar Lake, the winds were fierce and it was freezing cold. I had every layer on, and there were times when I couldn't feel my fingers. And even though the hut at the top was open, people didn't linger. They just wanted to keep moving to stay warm. But anyway, I'm down here at Timberline Lake. I'm going to be going to Crabtree Meadow to camp tonight, and hopefully the winds will be a lot quieter there. This is Crabtree Meadow camping area. What a beautiful place. There's tons of sites, lots of people scattered around. It's going to be a very nice place to camp tonight. It is trail day 22, and I just left Crabtree Meadows. What a pretty place to camp. And I was hiking pretty quickly to try to warm up because it got cold last night. And within 3 minutes, I came to this stream crossing. Now, normally I would just hop right across and not even think about it, but those rocks and those logs are covered in ice. So I had no choice but to take my boots off and wade across. Kind of a rude awakening in the morning, but I'm across, and now I'm heading over to Guyot Pass and down to Rock Creek today. It's been an absolutely gorgeous hike coming out of Crabtree Meadows. And now I'm down here in Lower Crabtree. So tranquil. Just beautiful area. Oh, another stock gate. I should be able to slip right through this one. I just came over Guyot Pass, got to see those two pack trains coming up and over. That was kind of fun. And there's Mount Guyot. I've been sort of coming around that most of the morning. We have a Mount Guyot in New Hampshire too. I think it's named for the same person. Many of these mountains were named for trail makers, map makers, geologists. So I'll have to look that up when I get home. But beautiful area, a very cruisy day, easy trail, heading down to Rock Creek. Okay, here's Rock Creek Crossing. It's trail day 23. I've been making a very stiff climb out of Rock Creek, and I just pulled over for a little break and got passed by this rider and mule. I never get tired of seeing that. But boy, has it been cold. A cold night last night. I talked to a trail crew who said cold front moved in 4 or 5 nights ago, and boy, that fits my pattern exactly. It's been freezing at night, on the edge of misery. But anyway, September's here, early September, and those cool fronts are moving in. I just have to keep moving. I'm almost around this knob, so I should be able to look down and see where I'm headed for the rest of the afternoon.
Well, good.
It's your day job, you lucky. I'm coming through this sort of barren, rocky area, but the last 2 hours the footing has been really difficult. It's this deep powdery sand, and so you're always slipping and sliding. It's soft on the feet, but boy, it's really difficult to walk through it. It's like walking through sand dunes. Looks like we have some wildfires going south of Lone Pine. I'm at Chicken Springs Lake. I'm going to go down, find a nice little sheltered place to tuck in for my last night on the trail. Day 24, my last day on the trail, and a hot breakfast this morning is a welcome sight. It was just too windy to even try to use my stove last night, so I ended up having cold granola. And since I had granola last night, and my bear can is almost empty, that means I'm having spaghetti for breakfast. But you know, when you're on the trail, you got to plan for things like that. But it was so windy, I ended up building a little stone wall around my tent just to keep the winds down, and I think it really helped. These lightweight tents Got to make sure they don't blow away, and it seems like the air just goes right through them. Here's the other end. Actually helped. All right, Cottonwood Pass, my 12th and final pass. Well, I can't believe this is my last day on the trail. You can see Horseshoe Meadows behind me, and that's my exit point. It's been an honor and a privilege to walk through this countryside, and any of you who think you'd like to do it, please get out and experience it, even for a section hike. You can walk farther than you think, and you're tougher than you know. It'll put a little hurt on you, but it's an adventure. Thanks to my family at home for their love and their support. And until next time, it's Mimi, signing out.